What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a brand new video. As you guys can see, we're reviewing the Honda Hornet SP, the new Honda flagship naked bike. So first off, we're going to talk about the design a little bit. It kind of does imitate the look of a Hornet. It kind of has those aggressive lines and obviously the gold wheels with the gold freaking forks. It's just a vibe, man. It looks so freaking good. And this particular bike already has the SC Project slip-on it. If it was for me and it was my bike, I would probably go for a full exhaust just to wake it up even more, just to tune this bike too and get more power out of it. But if you're going strictly for sound, a slip-on like this will probably be enough. And we're off, guys. Obviously, this is a completely different bike from my 600RR. The seating is absolutely different. It is super comfortable, but I really have to get used to this because this is a completely different feeling, but I like it. First impressions already, this bike is so freaking smooth, and the brakes are honestly maybe even a little touchier than on the 600RR, which is kind of surprising because that's a super sport bike and this is a naked bike, but the brakes are definitely there. So this has around 155 horsepower, which is plenty for the street, guys, and around, I think, 110, 120 Newton meters of torque at 9k RPM, which is freaking nuts, boys. Woo! This thing pulls, man. We gotta take it a little easy here because I saw a lot of gravel here, and obviously this is a borrowed bike from Honda, and I can have absolutely nothing happen to this bike. Otherwise, I don't know, I would probably have to sell my soul. So today we have to take it very easy, very cautious, and we're gonna try and hit up the highway just for a little bit so we can kind of test how fast she pulls. But a lot of this video is just gonna be a slower ride, and I also am not used to this bike at all, so like I said, we gotta take it easy, and I actually want to do a good review about this bike. It goes from side to side super easily. You don't have to force anything. The seating is very comfortable. You don't really feel cramped or anything like that. My hands are pretty bent and, you know, easy to maneuver the handlebars. They're not too bent nor too straight, so for me, this bike fits really perfectly. Holy! It's not lacking power, guys. This bike has around 155 horsepower at 11,000 RPM, and it is from a detuned Fireblade engine. I think it was the previous model engine, and this engine has been detuned a little bit and kind of adjusted for street riding. Gears 1 through 5, Gears 1 through 5 have been shortened, so you guys can bank through gears a lot faster. And gear number 6 has also, I guess, been shortened a little bit, but it's definitely way longer than the other ones. So that's obviously been adjusted for the highway speeds, cruising around, and also if you kind of want to be fuel efficient. But I don't think anyone really cares about fuel efficiency on bikes anyways, especially on a liter bike, because I quickly just checked the specs and I think this takes around 6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is what a regular car can kind of take, you know? So definitely not fuel efficient, but I bet it's going to be a lot of fun when you open her up. So freaking smooth. And it has a SC Project exhaust. I have my second mic, but I didn't have time to mount it, so once we get some space, I'll mount it on the back of the bike and you guys will be able to hear the exhaust a little more. But it has a SC Project slip-on, and it sounds pretty freaking good with just a slip-on already, guys. Since we're kind of standing still, I guess we can talk about the infotainment system a little bit. You have your riding modes. I am currently in the normal mode. You have your sport mode, you have your rain mode, and then you have user mode 1 and user mode 2, and that's all just done with this little switch. You have a switch for your high beams right here, and then you have this little joystick thingy to actually go through the modes and all the settings, which I don't know how to do, and I don't have that much time with the bike today, so we're not going to go too deep into the infotainment system, but you can kind of just sort of do everything with this one joystick, so I guess that's really cool. and you have your turn signal and your horn right here. Pretty simple stuff. You have your hazard lights right here, and honestly, maybe if I would be starting out with this bike, I might get the blinkers messed up with the joystick, but after a little bit of usage, you guys will definitely get used to it, and definitely not a big deal. Guys, I'm so surprised with how flickable it is, because like, I feel like my 600RR is less flickable than this. Hey, I don't know, that guy was signaling something. I have no clue what he was signaling. I think we're gonna get a little bit of an open road just now, and I'm not familiar with the bike yet, so we're not gonna go crazy, but we're definitely gonna try her out just a little bit. The Quickshifter is so smooth. Oh my god. Damn. Quickshifter down doesn't seem like it wants to work. Okay. Interesting. Wow! That is really nice, guys. That is super, super smooth. And the Quickshifter up is like absolute butter, man. I wonder why the Quickshifter down doesn't work though, because it shows Quickshifter up and down is available right now. So I'm not sure. Maybe I have to press down a little harder. So we are going to give it a shot again, but I don't want to destroy this bike. I'm going to ask them what happened after I get back to Honda. So since we're going through a village right now and I'm going over a few bumps, I have to say this suspension really eats up bumps. It has fully adjustable front forks and a fully adjustable rear Owens shock. I don't know what else you want. You guys can adjust everything to your own personal preference. Obviously, I've done none of that, but I feel like it fits me right now, and it's pretty good. Also, the clutch feels a lot like grabbier, if that makes sense. Like, there's definitely like less play or less forgiveness in the clutch compared to the 600RR, which I would guess that a super sport bike, again, would be like way rougher on the clutch, on the brakes, everything. Obviously, when you're riding, it doesn't matter that much, but from a standstill, when you're taking off, the clutch can be a little less forgiving, so you guys have to get used to how the clutch works over here and when it actually bites, and so you just don't end up stalling all the time, basically. But it's not that bad. Like, I didn't stall this bike yet, and I don't think I am going to, so it's definitely nothing terrible either, but I just wanted to say that the clutch definitely feels a little grabbier. Also, shout out Honda. These guys are absolutely amazing. You know, they let me borrow a bike like this, and you know, I had never thought anything like this would be possible anytime soon. So doing a review about this bike, it's just a dream come true, man. All right, we're probably gonna get their tires a little bit dirty, so I mean, hopefully they're not gonna be mad at me, but they won't know because we got a lot of time to ride still. But I want to park here. This was one of my picture spots, and I want to take a few quick videos. Now we have to take it super, super easy because the tires are going to be a little bit dirty. And I've been saying this like 20 times, but I also got to keep repeating myself, man, because like this bike is just so good, and it wants you to go fast a little bit too. You can still manage the bike just cruising at 50 kilometers an hour in second gear, and you're fine. But this bike kind of wants you to, you know, have a little bit of fun with it. Maybe that's me, maybe I'm just a squid, maybe I just want to have fun with every bike, but oh my god, guys. Woo! The front wheel definitely gets pretty light. Alright, the Quickshifter down works too, and once it actually, you know, kicks down, it is really smooth, and I think you can adjust the stiffness. So I'm guessing this bike has a stiffness set to like the hardest mode. The Quickshift up, you know, that's just super, super smooth because you don't even have to have half the throttle open. You can just have the throttle open a little bit while accelerating. You kick up a gear and it just goes there like butter. But the Quickshift down is a little rough, and I would say that the CBR 600RR that I have shifts smoother than this. It definitely shifts down smoother than this. I'm not sure about the quick shift up. It would probably be around the same level, but oh my god. The front wheel definitely likes to get pretty light. We're gonna have a little bit of an open road here, so let's kick it down 2 gears. Okay, yeah, the quick shifter down is not as smooth. All right, let's try to give it full throttle, boys. Holy! Honestly, giving it full throttle in 2nd gear can be a little scary because the front of the bike gets very light and the handlebars start wobbling a little bit. Alright, one more time, boys. This is a truck! Woo! Oh my god! I love this bike, guys. I freaking love it. It is incredible, guys. I also quickly want to mention the value for money that you get with this bike and also all the competition that it has, which I don't think it has that much competition, to be honest. First off, this bike costs around $13,000. Obviously, I'm in Europe. I'm doing the conversion for you guys, so it's, you know, a little easier for you. But apparently, I've heard somewhere in the States that it's like 11 grand, maybe like 10,999 for the SP version. So maybe it's a little more expensive here. But I've also heard that they don't sell the regular Hornet in the States. So maybe they want to be like ultra competitive and they've kind of set the price of the regular Hornet for the Hornet SP over there. But I'm not sure what's the truth about that. Haven't looked into that. What are you doing, lady? You have a green light. Let's go. I don't have that much time to test this bike. I think what Honda has done with the engine and with the gearing is absolutely perfect because this is a 1000cc. The acceleration and the speed is pretty nuts, but you can actually bank through gears, which is super enjoyable. You know, it's not like me on the 600RR. If I want to go through the city, I'm just kind of stuck in 1st gear, maybe 2nd, but you know, you can use 4th gear, 5th gear, and just kind of cruise around. I mean, I am going 80, but you kick it down to 4th, you're going 65, nothing too crazy, you know, and that's something you cannot do with a super sport bike. So for people that want to ride around the city, I feel like something like this definitely could be a bike for you. But back to the value for money, over here in Europe, this bike would run you around 13 grand, close to $13,500, and the regular Hornet will cost you around $11,000 or $11,500. And for this price, having a 155 horsepower bike with full freaking Olin suspension, Brembo Stelema brakes, you got the electronics, you got the Quickshifter that comes factory, like, what else do you want? For $13,000, like, there's nothing on the market that's close to this. Power wise, I feel like the closest bike to this is the Yamaha MT-10 SP, but like that bike costs like $22,000, you know, and honestly that has so much stuff like steel braided brake lines, 6-axis IMU, freaking everything you can ever wish for. But you know, for a naked bike, I feel like that's just too much stuff that you're not going to use because you don't go do track days every single time with a bike like this. Now when we try to find the closest bike money wise in this category, it would be the MT-09 SP or the Kawasaki Z900. So first off, the Yamaha MT-09 SP, you know, that thing is still more expensive. I think that's around like $15,500, and it has around 120 horsepower. So you're starting to lose quite a bit of horsepower and you're still paying a little more.
Lastly, you have the Z900 from Kawasaki, which is also a super sweet naked bike, and it's really close money-wise, and I think it's actually a little bit cheaper. It costs around what the regular Hornet costs, so
Just like around, just a little over $11,000.
but again, the Z900 is slower. It's got 120 horsepower. It's not bad, it's still fun, but when you're comparing stats, then I guess, like, you know, paying an extra $2,000 for the SP and having 25-30 more horsepower, I feel like that's just way more fun and just a way better option. Holy shit, man! This bike also makes its peak torque at 9,000 RPM, and the peak torque is around 116 Newton meters, which is absolutely phenomenal, man. So you guys could definitely pull wheelies, probably in second and third gear. The other naked bikes that I've mentioned are super fun as well, so I got nothing against them, but when you're really looking at it from a value to money perspective, I guess the Hornet SP or the regular Hornet are just really great options. And I think the only difference is that you really get with the Hornet SP is you have the Brembo's Dilemma brake calipers in the front, and you have the Öhlins shock in the rear. The front forks are the same, the rear brakes are the same, and I think this version has 5 or 8 more horsepower than the regular Hornet. Other than that, there's not many other things. Oh, you also have the Quickshifter, which is not standard on the Hornet, but I guess you can definitely mount it. What's up, bro? Is that the Z900? Was I just talking about the Z900, man? There's a lot of traffic, and I can't have me doing anything stupid, so we are gonna take it easy, boys. Boys, see, I've been telling myself that I need to ride slow and ride carefully like 20 times already, and I'm already splitting lanes with a Z900, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna take it easy. We're gonna exit here in a little bit, but wow, guys, I am so surprised with this bike. I'm so surprised with how smooth it is, how comfortable it is, how you can like ride it normally like a normal person, but you can also just give it the beans and have plenty of fun with this bike, on the track, off the track, anywhere you want, man. We're gonna try out the sport mode just once. Sport mode doesn't deactivate traction control or anything like that. I'm not sure if you can do that. I'll have to look into it because I don't want to go through the infotainment like I said before, but definitely the throttle is even more responsive. You guys can see the minimal freaking shit I have to do. And then let's see if there's any power difference. Yo! There actually might be, guys. It might not be like the 600RR where, you know, the power modes are just pretty much throttle responsiveness. Over here it actually might be able to open up a little more in sport mode, so good to know. One thing I also wanted to mention, since I've already said that I don't think the States have the regular Hornet version and only the SP version, from what I've heard, the Hornet SP over there makes way less power than over here. It makes 155, almost 156 horsepower here, whereas it makes around 129 horsepower in the States, which is absolutely crazy. Even though our emissions over here are way stricter than in the States, well, depends where in the States you live, but they are usually stricter here. I think the noise levels or something are stricter in the States, and Honda had to make the bike way leaner and just kind of lazier. So if you guys end up getting the Hornet SP in the States, please, for the love of God, get an exhaust for it and tune it, because I think it'll add at least like 20, 25, maybe even 30 horsepower, which are crazy gains. But then you're basically going to get on the level of the European market over here. Having 129 horsepower is already pretty fun, but knowing that us Europeans are fucking bopping around on the same bike with 155 horsepower, I feel like that's a little sad, you know?
I have been on the bike for around 45
minutes now, and I gotta say, I'm already pretty used to it. This bike is just super easy to get used to. Just everything about it makes it super simple to ride, yet just so enjoyable. I love it. If I would have extra 12-13 grand laying around right now, I would be buying this, and yeah, I would be just switching around with the 600RR. The accelerations and just, oh my god, man. I keep saying it over and over again, but this is a pleasant surprise from a sport bike. I haven't been on a naked bike for about 2-3 years, so, you know, being able to just shift through gears like that and enjoy the power from pretty much all the way down low is so much fun, guys. It doesn't want to auto blip from 3rd to 2nd. If you really kick down, you can blip down from 4th to 3rd, but the bike's not too happy with that. And I know other reviewers have kind of said that the auto blip down is a little rougher, but definitely not rough like this. So I'll ask Honda, and I'm pretty sure it has to be some sort of setting that they have there, and I don't want to mess around with it.
And when I was braking a little harder in that turn previously, honestly, I'm not sure anymore if the brakes over here are more aggressive or not compared to the 600RR. You know, if I'm going slower, it feels like they are.
But when I was going at those higher speeds, I feel like the 600RR had better brakes. So I'm not sure, maybe it's just a feeling and maybe they're similar. I'm not saying that this bike doesn't brake. This bike definitely brakes a lot and the stopping power is super nice. But yeah, I'm just not sure if it's better or worse than the 600RR, you know? Woo! Love this. Ba, ba, ba. Oh my god, I will get used to this super quickly. I want this, man. I want this. And the lady that was lending me the bike said that I will fall in love with this and I will want to own it right away, and I guess she's right. Honestly, I do like my sport bikes, but there's something about this that makes me want to get it, man. It's the power from down low, the Quickshifter. This bike is pretty comfortable. I've been riding for almost an hour and my butt does not hurt, my back does not hurt.
I'm a pretty taller guy, my legs don't feel cramped at all. You guys can see that I still have decent amount of room there.
The pegs are not really in a sporty position, but your feet are kind of pointed back a little bit, so you do have a little bit of that, I guess, aggressive seating look. I don't know. It's not aggressive seating at all. I'm sitting like completely upright and I'm super comfortable, but those legs, yeah, they're not like fully like straight or anything like that. You do have a nice comfortable angle, and when you do want to go fast, you can kind of like scooch back and you can duck forward, and you have a lot of room when you're ducking forward. It feels comfortable for the arms as well. The only thing, obviously, it's a naked bike. You are just gonna be blown by the wind. That's just a fact. That's the naked bike lifestyle. Some people are used to it, but I mean, if you want to do highway riding 24/7, maybe don't get a naked bike in general. Right now, I'm trying to think of something negative to say about the bike, but nowadays, pretty much most modern bikes are just so good from the factory, and this is no exception, guys. For having 155 horsepower, it is pretty manageable. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend this bike to new riders, but if you're kind of like a intermediate rider, you have about like 3-4 years of riding experience. If you're a dedicated track guy that's looking for a track weapon, I would probably not recommend this.
But, you know, if you're just bopping around, having fun with the bike, this is definitely enough for you. Alright, let's go fill it up so we give them a full tank again. Alright guys, let's get one last look at this bike. Absolutely gorgeous, and we're almost back at Honda, boys. I'm like 100% sure that I've missed a whole bunch of stuff about this bike. So if you guys want to know more, please check the description of this video, because I'm going to try to give you guys more information about the stuff I missed about the bike when it comes to details and
stuff like that. And since we're pretty close to Honda, we're going to give it 1 or 2 more kind of pulls, and we're probably going to finish the review here. Oh, we got the front wheel to lift, boys. Overall, this bike, absolutely insane. And I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts when I get back on my 600RR, and then we're probably going to finish off this video. We're back on the 600RR, guys, and I gotta say right away, I miss the straight handlebars on the Hornet, man. Oh my god. Anyways, I kind of think I already said my final thoughts. I think that Hornet is pretty much for a lot of people, intermediate, semi-pro, not beginners, because I mean it packs a punch, but it is definitely for a variety of people, and I feel like a lot of people can enjoy it. It can be tame, but at the same time also very fun, punchy, torquey, everything, man. It's just a great bike overall, and I think Honda has done a very good job. With that being said, I think if I had the money for it, I would be buying it right now, because obviously this is so much fun, and I still probably like it more than a naked bike. That thing also has a whole different vibe to it, and it would be super nice around the city, and I would be way more comfortable. At the end of the day, I'm still a bigger fan of those higher revving engines that make their power all the way up. So I'm super happy with my choice, guys. But I gotta say, man, there definitely is something about it that makes me want to get it as well. There's actually 2 things that I just remembered that I wanted to talk about while I was riding the Hornet SP, but I forgot. So the first being the weight. Ready to go wet weight is 212 kilos, which is not too bad, but it is a little bit on the heavier side. But for being a little bit heavier, it actually handled amazingly. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is I also kind of thought that the Hornet SP would maybe be a little bit of a Frankenstein bike, meaning you have the engine from the Fireblade, you've got some other tech from other bikes, so it is kind of put together with a few already existing parts. It doesn't matter that they use the Fireblade engine, it's been kind of modified a lot, it's been detuned a lot, so it does feel like a whole different engine, and the bike overall just feels like a brand new bike. Now I think I've actually covered everything, and again, shout out Honda for making this possible. Absolutely an amazing feeling, and I'm excited to try out other bikes from them, and maybe also from different manufacturers. So if you guys want to see me test out some other bikes, drop a comment, tell me which one you want me to test out, and maybe I'll be able to make it happen. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed a different style video from me, and if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notifications, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace!